Hello and welcome everyone to turn or round two of my playthrough of Tiger's Lash Out at Ladoga. Please refer to the earlier videos, which includes an introduction and also a recap of a prior playthrough of this scenario and obviously round one for more information. So let's move on to round two and yeah, to come back to some of the choices I made during round one. Um, I wouldn't call it a blunder, but it's not, certainly not the best thing I could have done. I drew for the Russians from the winter deck, but of course I should have drawn from the reinforcement deck because, yeah, the Russians get points for exiting units off the board, and the longer that they actually have to get there, the better it is. So the sooner during the game that you actually buy those cards, the better it is. And I'm sure I've made several more mistakes. I kind of did that for time's sake, I could have used moves and fires with some of the infantry, for instance, but yeah, I would have rolled like 2 or 3 dice on average against 6 cover or something. Like if you try it often enough, you will sooner or later get 1 or 2 lucky rolls. But yeah, for time's sake, I decided to just go with normal moves. Anyway, turn two. Russians have the initiative, and well, fatigue 1 unit in snow terrain is a card that they do have. It doesn't say that the unit cannot be an off fire, so I guess that would be a good first action. So they buy this card. Yes, it says action phase. So cost 2, and I'm going to fatigue one of the machine guns. And let's just take this one. I do have to pay for it, obviously, and it costs me 2 command. What I always do is once I've used a card, I just put it back at the bottom of the deck, but then face up so that I know that it's already been used. That was the first Russian action then, playing that card. Now it would be great to also get the second machine gun out of fire. And I guess I'm going to use combined fire for that. And as I've mentioned before, there's a special rule in this scenario which requires the Russians to spend 1 available command each time they wish to use combined fire. So that's what they're doing now. And yeah, let's just really make sure that it actually works. So I'm going to use a few more units than I probably would like to, but 1 tank, 6 dice, another tank, 3 more dice, it's 9, and I'll also use the machine gun for +2, that's 11 dice. Well, that should work. 4, 7, 11, and we're going to fire at this machine gun, which has 2 cover for the woods and 4 for the trench. And we're going for suppressive fire, obviously. Yes, we do score a lot of hits now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and only 2 cover, so that's 6. So this one is right away routed. So that's a good roll for the Russians. And they have 1 action left because combining fire just takes 1 action, and you can join in as many units as you want. Now, of course, I can move some units forward with relative impunity. Let's see. Well, I'm certainly going to put, yeah, those units can fire. You know what? For now, let's just fire with the mortar. That's something I often forget to do because I first use up all the other units, and then by the time I want to fire the mortar, there are no non-fatigue units left. Suppressive fire against this machine gun over here, so against 6 dice. So 4 dice against 6 dice. I do score 1 hit, but there's also 1 save. so nothing happens. Now it's over to the Germans, who have 2 actions. The Russians have 3. What I should have done, of course, because I did pay for it, was to use the artillery 88 card, which would have allowed me to fire at a certain hex before the Russians do anything. So that's what I want to do anyway. And I don't actually think that costs an action. I'm not sure about that, because it works the same as the Katyusha card or something. But let's try it now. Because it technically happens before the start of the action phase. So yeah, I have actually paid for it. Let's see if we can establish contact on a roll of 4 or higher. I roll a 6, so that works out. Let's see, let's target this hex over here. I get to, of course, I still need to determine drift. I do have an officer that has line of sight, so the drift number is 3, and I roll a 4, so there's no drift. And then I get to roll 5 attack dice, hitting on 5s and 6s. I roll 3 hits, and there is no cover against it, so this one is destroyed, and this one is destroyed as well, because, as I said, there is no cover against it, so that was pretty devastating. Now the Germans would have to pay for it again to use this card again. So it has been used now once, but you can see just how devastating its use can be. So if you use it right, I certainly think it's worth it. Excuse me. Yeah, so this was technically something I did before the turn. So now I have 2 actions left. We'll fire with the mortar, and we'll fire at this quad. This quad can spot for it, or, well, not that one because it's fatigued, but this one can certainly spot for it. And I roll 2 hits, so that's a pinned result. So that one is not moving anywhere on this round. And then we have 1 more German action. Let's see what they're going to do. Well, this one can fire, of course. Against that unit, also suppressive fire 5 dice, because there's 1 elite unit over there. And they're going to, well, fire at this unit, no cover, suppressive fire. And they roll 2 more hits, and I believe that's a disrupted result then. Against the squad in pin condition, 2 hits, yes, disrupted. Well, that's certainly not too bad. Now it's back to the Russians. What are they going to do? Let's see. Let's take another one for this one. It's a little bit faded. Well, I want to leave my options open. This one is not going to do anything, so I'm just going to fatigue it. This one is going to fire. So now I'm using units that are not that important to me, and basically buying time for myself and see what the Germans do. Perhaps not that important in this particular case, but let's see what these units can do. These units can do 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it only rolls 3 dice against infantry. And let's go for the kill. It's a long shot, but 6 dice. We don't roll any hits. We do roll 2 cover. Now there's 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be a move, and the Germans can't react to it. So 5. I'm going to have to stop here, because if I want to pass through the anti-tank obstacle here, I actually have to stop in front. And what I can do now, of course, is, since I moved only 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can still actually shoot. So 3 dice at that one. Let me first see how many hits I'm going to roll. That's 1. Well, almost certainly I will roll at least one defense. Yes, I do. As many as 3 or 4. So that one stops there. What else can the Germans do? Because it's back to the Germans now. I guess they can put this unit, that is the anti-tank gun, in off fire. I'm not quite sure if it's in the frame. Yes, it is. You can still see it. And this unit over here, which can barely see, is going to move backwards, so off screen, to try and grab another neutral objective point further down the board. As I mentioned during the previous video, I focused on this particular end of the board because you can see it better then. So 1, 2, 3, and it cannot move into the neutral command objective there because it's located in a woods hex, and it would cost 2 more to move in there, so that's something it can't do. So it's back to the Russians, and what I did learn from the previous playtest is that they really have to keep moving, otherwise they'll run out of, well, not so much out of steam, but they really need those movement points later on, and they want to be in a good position when the tigers arrive. Let's see. Well, this one will. Yes, this one is going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4 to remove the wire. 4, and then 3 more to move into the woods hex here for a movement of 7, which is its maximum move. Note that obviously tanks and vehicles can't move into trenches, but trenches are basically a separate element within a hex, and it's not technically in the trench, it's in the same hex. That's that one. Those are all fatigued. This one is going to also do a move and fire then. 1, 2, 3, and it has to stop here as well. And it's still going to fire at the machine gun with 3 dice, who again has a cover of 6. Do score 1 hit, but I score more saves. And do the Germans have anything else they can do? Yes, they do. They have this unit still, so let me also put it in off fire, and that's all they can do. They could still buy a card, but I don't think they're going to. So I'm just going to finish the turn for the Russians now. Let me just take a number of fatigued tokens. I'll have enough of them. That one is not going to move anywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's not going to be able to get any closer, so move it over here, but then I will be able to fire at this unit at close range with 3 dice. And it's got 6 defense. Since I'm at close range now, I hit on 4s and 5s and 6s, so 4 plus, but do roll 2 hits, but there are also 2 saves. Let's see. These can't move any further. This hex is fully stacked. I guess what I could do is 1, 2, 3, 4, and remove the wire here as well. And again, move. Well, I've moved and fire, obviously. 3 dice, 6 defense, no hits. Not a very good roll. And is that one going to do the same? Sure, why not? 1, 2, 3, 4. Removing the razor wire. 3 dice, and this one has got less defense. 2 for the woods, 1 for the 2 for the entrenchment, and 1 for the medic squad. Scored 3 hits, but 4 saves. So you cannot say that the T-34 didn't do its best, but it wasn't enough. Sometimes your best just isn't enough. Yeah, I guess that's all the Russian units as well. they have suffered quite a few casualties already, 2 full squads, and well, actually 3 squads, because yeah, 3 squad bases, but 3 full squads. Okay, so determine control over objectives. I don't think anything has changed there, so the Russians get 5 points, plus of course 1 for free on initiative for the seize the initiative card. 3, 4, that's 5 for the Russians, and the Germans get 2, 4, 6, and not that one yet, so 6 again. It's a bit difficult to reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm hoping I have another 1 here. Yes, 6. The Russians have to spend it first. Do they desperately want to gain initiative? I think they really would like to, because all these units that are so close to the Germans, otherwise the Germans will get to fire first, and well, that might cost them dearly. So yes, they would like to go first, but the Germans could put as many as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 command there. So in order for the Russians to match that, they would have to put all the command they just got in that place. So I don't know. I don't want to do that. That would cost me too much. I do want to put 2 more command there, I think, but the rest I will save. What do the Germans do? So the Russians did put 4, and the Germans, if they want to get the initiative, they have to put 4 themselves, which they will do, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the Germans take the initiative from the Russians and still have 4 left. Now, do they want to buy that artillery card again, or do they want to do something else with it? I think for the time being, they don't want to buy that card, and see what other options are going to become available, no matter how devastating it proved to be on the previous turn. So yeah, draw strategy cards. Germans first. Let me take one from the winter. No, let me take another ace. Now, surprise ace assault. This card basically allows that particular ace to take an action before your opponent takes an action. That's very handy for when the Russians have the initiative, and then you can still fire first with that tank ace. Excuse me. And the Russians will draw a card from the Armament Reinforcements deck. Tank platoon receive 1 T-70 tank as a reinforcement, and it costs 3. But of course I can't buy it now because we've already spent command, so that would have to be on the next turn. I was hoping for a T-34 or something else, but not so much the T-70. But okay, it's better than nothing, I suppose. Remove tokens. Again, the most boring part of the turn, but something that needs to happen. There we go. So things don't seem to be going that well for the Russians yet. That disrupted token is being toned down to pinned, especially now that the Germans are going to have the initiative, which means that they will get to fire first at these 2, well, all those T-34s around them. Now, I don't think they're going to destroy all of them, but they might certainly be able to damage them. What has been going better for the Russians so far compared to my previous playtest is that many more T-34s were actually lightly damaged or something else. Well, mostly lightly damaged because of MG up-fire, some lucky shots. But yeah, that did work back then, and so far they're okay now. But of course, it remains to be seen what the situation is going to look like after German action turn 1. when these two units are undoubtedly going to fire at some of the Russian tanks. And, well, we'll see what they can do. Place units in off fire. Do I want to put this one in off fire? Well, no, I don't, because I want to fire at it, and I have the initiative. I do want to put the anti-tank gun here in off fire, because these tanks over here, if they're not destroyed, and they're not all going to be destroyed, at most two of them, and destroyed would be the most terrible thing that could happen to them. But if they remain undamaged or even lightly damaged, they will be able to move into the open spaces over here, and then if they move far enough, the anti-tank gun will be able to shoot at them, because it's in op fire now. That's the only thing I'm going to do when it comes to op fire. Squad transfers, not possible. Scenario reinforcements and events, well, we certainly have those. The Germans get some reinforcements to half tracks and an expert unit and an anti-tank gun unit. Well, you can't see it, but I'm going to put them at the back of the board. The expert is going to be in a marsh hex, not along with, because that's not possible. Vehicles can enter marsh hexes. One of them is going to set up without anything on board, and the other one is going to be carrying the anti-tank squad, so that it can first move, and then it can drop off the anti-tank squad, hopefully in the woods or somewhere close to the woods. And then we advance the round marker, and we've reached turn 3. So I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and see you after turn 3.